Hello, everyone. What initially brought me to the decision to pursue cybersecurity was actually something very simple. I saw an ad on Instagram that caught my eye from Full Sail, and cybersecurity just stood out to me. I've always been into tech and problem solving, and the idea of protecting systems, fighting cyber threats, and just learning technology as a whole seemed challenging and exciting. After I clicked on the ad, Full Sail reached out to me right away and made the whole process very easy. I was actually out of town when I enrolled, but they helped me get everything finalized very quickly, including the tuition and getting all of my classes set up. The program director for my degree at Full Sail is Sean P. Fallon, who's been in the role since August of 2023. I've also seen that James Stone III is a course director, so I believe there's a good team leading the program with a lot of experience and a lot of years behind them. Now, when it comes to what kind of software and programming languages that I'll be using in this degree, there is actually a good amount. In cybersecurity, you need to be fluent in a good amount of tools, languages, depending on the focus. Is one that I know of, and I see that it's for scripting, automation, and penetration testing slash ethical hacking. The C and C++ are ones that I knew of. JavaScript, I've heard of that one, and I see that it's useful when working in web security. But the only Java I know at the moment is the one that runs Minecraft. So SQL, that is one that is new to me, as well as PowerShell and Bash. And those are for writing scripts on both Windows and Linux systems. For the software tools, we'll be using programs like Wireshark, Metasploit, Nmap, Burp Suite. Those are some that I have never heard of. So this is all going to be new to me. I see, well, from what I've read, I've seen Snort or Suricata, intrusion detective detection systems, and Splunk or the Elk Stack for log analysis and event monitoring. When it comes to the skills I want to focus on during my degree, I'm especially interested in network security, ethical hacking, and incident response. Network security is very important. It's basically the first line of defense in any company. Ethical hacking or penetration testing is something I find exciting because you get to think like a hacker, basically, to identify the weaknesses before someone else can. And then incidents response is all about reacting fast and smart when something goes wrong, which feels like a very meaningful and very high pressure job in a good way. This will be a good experience for me in keeping my brain active and ready to go. Thinking ahead, I know there will be some difficult classes. I think Intro to Cryptography, Threat Intelligence and Defense, and Cybercrime and Incident Response are probably going to be some of the toughest ones. They involve deep technical knowledge, complex problem solving, and even though I'm good at math, see cryptography is really math heavy and got to have an understanding of how algorithms and encryption works. So that'll be very difficult to learn, but I think I'll get through it. And threat intelligence and incident response requires technical logic or technical knowledge, but the ability to think on your feet as well and make smart decisions under pressure. On the other side, classes like cultural studies and physical science might be much easier since they're more general classes. I also think the project and portfolio classes will be manageable as long as I stay organized because they're more about showing what I already know or I've already learned instead of learning brand new concepts from scratch. I find different cultures very interesting, so I won't get distracted in that class either. And with the portfolios, I'll just have to be attentive and keep up with them. To prepare for the tougher classes, I plan to brush up on basic math and logic, especially for cryptography. I also keep myself informed about current cyber threats and trends by watching cybersecurity YouTubers maybe reading articles, and even starting some practice on platforms like TryHackMe or Cybrary. The more exposure I get now, the more confident I'll be when those classes come up. I had to look up cryptography, but it made sense that it's just encryption or securing of information. Time management is going to be important. I plan to create a weekly schedule where I block out time for any classwork, lectures, studying, and reviews. I'll probably use a tool like Google Calendar to help break down the big projects, make them more manageable, cut them into smaller tasks, and also make sure to take breaks and pace myself so I don't burn out. Most importantly, I won't be afraid to ask for help when I need it, whether that's from instructors, classmates, or online communities. The Discord that we all created is very helpful and it has helped me immensely with any homework help or anything. So, this is my plan going forward, and I'm very excited to keep learning and growing in this field. Thank you for listening.